get aboard the ocean as we are traveling home, singing Yahoo.
All of a sudden, we were right where we had left off before we had met him, you know, where we were back right in that spot.
Some of us were still in Lanikai, kind of sitting around waiting for everybody to come back, wondering what happened. We were kind of like still in Lanikai, figuring everybody would come back and we'd get the family back together. He basically knew that we were too dependent on him and that the only way we would ever grow up is if we had to take responsibility for it ourselves. And he cut us loose. The teachings that he gave us, he often said, these are keys that you will not understand now. I am planting seeds. But
that when Father Yo died, he was holding a lot of energy together for a lot of people as far as conscious living. And as soon as he passed away, there was no force to hold it together anymore. So everybody kind of filtered out into the world and had to go through what they had to go through.
People were leaving to go try to do stuff. You know, a couple of people went to New York and some people went to LA. And so the family actually started to just on its own break up. And so Makusha said one day, we need to disperse. Everybody needs to fly off the limb. It's time to grow up. She said, we'll come back in 2 years.
Natural cycle, you know, if you look at a flower, it looks like it dies and dries up, but that's when its seeds get airborne and get scattered everywhere. We went on to create our individual lives, and that's how we really made a contribution. We thought we were going to live together forever and make a contribution to the world that way, and that didn't happen. But who's to say what did happen wasn't even greater than that possibility? I think it was. I really do. I think that it was very purposeful that he did die and get out of the picture. I think it was unfortunate. There might have been other possibilities, but in terms of our growth as individuals and taking responsibility, I think that was really served by the family breaking up.
You know, those
the family that went on to do such great things, positive things, and are still doing great positive things. You know, I hardly can consider it a cult, although I'm really trying to come to terms with that word, because I'm learning now that cult isn't necessarily a negative connotation. It's just that most people put it that way. So if we were a cult, okay, we were a cult. But we were a good cult. You know, like Glenda was a good witch. If somebody else accepts this or not, it's not their experience, it's mine. But to not experience the family, to not experience Yehovah, I wouldn't give that up for the world. In my life, I absolutely have no regrets. Yehovah was a turning point in my life.
Ultimately, what was more powerful was Jim Baker's, you know, Yehovah's fathers, whatever, his children to grow up and become individuals and make their contribution in their own world. And you know, if you're a child, you don't stay home with your parents forever, you know. You got to get a life.